People will say, 50 years later, we're still doing the same darn thing. Where's the progress? Well, it's true that we are still using surgery. We are still using radiation. We are still using chemotherapy. But to assume that we're doing the same thing now as we did 50 years ago is like saying, where's the progress between these two cars? I mean, look at these. They still have a steering wheel. They still have 4 round tires. They still have internal combustion engines. Where's the progress? Well, I don't think it'd take anybody any time to realize that the level of sophistication between this 4-wheel car and this 4-wheel car is anything but showing no progress. And so it is with surgery, so it is with radiation, and so it is with chemotherapy. This is a dramatic turn the world upside down on its head kind of idea. Up until now, we've thought about how can we get the maximum tolerated dose. The idea is blast the patient with as much chemo as they can tolerate without basically killing them because you think you need all that firepower to wipe out the cancer. Well, what happens? You need to back away. You need to let the patient recover. You can't keep that up over a long period of time. You have it in cycles. You have it every X number of weeks. And what happens while the patient is recuperating? What do you think the cancer cells are doing? They're saying, oh, pressure's off. Okay, let's regroup. Let's reforce here. Well, the low-dose idea turns everything right upside down on its head and says, rather than go for the maximum we can do that the patient will tolerate, why don't we apply the minimum that we can do that has any effect? And you apply that much more continuously. And yes, it may mean that the patients have to go for a longer course of chemo, but you know what? They feel fine. They don't care because they're not sick. They don't have any of the toxic side effects. It's just nice kind of chronic management. And it really does seem to work. And so you need to stay tuned. You're going to hear a lot more, I think, about this kind of technique for chemotherapy dosages. In fact, we have very high cure rates for many cancers right now, today. In the 1940s, anyone's chances of surviving cancer was no better than about 1 in 4. By the 1960s, that had increased to 1 in 3. Today, it's almost 60%. Now, I think most of the people that you communicate with on a regular basis would be shocked to know that it's that high. 60% of people newly diagnosed with cancer today will survive that diagnosis. I think that's pretty impressive.